Two teachers. Two totally different working environments. Effective behaviour management is essential for good policing and teaching.
Right, shall I just have these and give them out in a minute?
Can a mainstream teacher learn a thing or two from her unconventional counterpart?
Down!
Could police training enable her to change her own behaviour and in turn allow her students to change theirs?
Can we just settle down now? Thank you very much.
Hendon Police Training Centre is the biggest police academy in Britain. PC Donegal teaches police officers at the school. During her 20 years of service, she's learned that words, rather than weapons, are usually the most effective way to diffuse a tense situation.
Tactical communication is a very good tool, a good tactical option to choose, because it may actually mean that you can diffuse a situation and not have to use force.
Donna is adamant that all her students understand this way of thinking.
What do I want to keep my message, folks? Simple. I'm not going to be able to wrestle a 6-foot man to the floor. So if I am in a conflict situation, what I tend to rely on is my good humour, tact, and my communication skills to try and control them, to try and prevent it escalating towards violence.
What would we be doing with our verbal communication at this point?
She really can command quite a presence in front of a class, and I think that's what it's about. It's about, you know, respect, knowing that the person who's in front of you knows what they're talking about, can do the job that they're asking you to do, but also that they're approachable and friendly and that you can ask them anything.
Dr. Sarah Longshaw teaches science at All Hallows Catholic High School in Macclesfield.
Go, please, girls.
Sarah usually has the ability to tap into her class's needs, but one Year 10 class is proving difficult and she is struggling to keep control.
Right, good morning. Thank you. Okay. No, Tom, not language. This group is not responding in the way that other groups have done in the past. It's just constant talking when I'm trying to address the class, the reluctance to actually start the work, and the lack of pride in what they're doing because they don't believe in themselves that becomes very frustrating. James, turn the tap off, please. They have driven me to distraction at times. They frustrate me. They take up far too much of my time. I would just like you to listen, please.
She shouts a lot because people don't listen to her, they don't do the work.
There's a lot of chit-chat in the class, a lot of shouting as well, so sometimes the teacher can't hear you. I don't think she feels that we show her respect.
I really do care about these students. I've read the books on behaviour management. I belong to the Behaviour for Learning thematic action group within the school because I want to make it work. Tomorrow I am going to the Police Training Academy and I'm going to look at how...
Fight the bill all over again.
I'm sure that although there is no magic wand, I'm sure there is a solution. I am absolutely determined that I am going to get to a situation where they enjoy being in my lesson, I enjoy teaching them, and they achieve the grades they should achieve. So I need to shut the door, please.
Tomorrow, Sarah will swap school for the police academy. Will police training enable her to change the way she acts in class? And crucially, will it be the catalyst that gets students thinking about their own behaviour?
G-class, move to the left in freeze. Left turn. March. Left, right, left.
For recruits at Hendon, the day begins with a morning drill.
Left, right, left.
And for Sarah, it will be her first introduction to how things are done at the police academy.
Hi. Pleased to meet you, Donegal.
I'm Sarah Longshaw.
Pleased to meet you. We're just going to watch a parade which is going to get called up very shortly.
8 Foxtrot will move to the left in 3.
This is their morning parade just to ensure that they're here on time. They understand the discipline, the fact that it's a discipline service, and the fact that if they're given a lawful order by a supervisor, they'll do as they're told, basically.
So you need to get that sorted out. We'll have a look at our show parade tomorrow morning.
March! Left, right, left, right, left, right, left. Left, right, left, right, left, right.
For the rest of the day, Sarah is no longer the teacher, but instead the new student in class.
The brain works in two uniquely different ways.
Her first lesson of the day is in tactical communication.
Over half of communication is about non-verbal content. Over half. Because if I'd have come in here and the first thing you'd seen of me this morning when I walked in was that, be honest, what will you have decided about me as a person, as a teacher, as your instructor already?
Couldn't be bothered.
Couldn't be bothered. Your non-verbal communication is that important. Your first impressions count. What do we think about that?
As a teacher, I can quite see how some of the comments that I get from my pupils as they come in, sometimes as they come in I'll be smiling and they'll say, "Oh, you're in a happy mood today," and they'll relax.
Absolutely. By a non-verbal communication gesture, we can change a whole mindset of potentially a group of people. At that point of intervention, where two people are very highly charged, I don't go in too aggressively, "Shut up!" What's that going to do to people who are at conflict? Agitate the situation or help? It's going to agitate the situation. I don't go in too submissively, "Excuse me, excuse me, excuse me." I need to go in at an assertive, matching energy level. Now, what am I saying to this emotionally highly charged person? What's the first thing you think should be coming out of my mouth?
I'm listening to you, so let them know that you're listening.
Yeah. So while I'm standing actively listening to this person and encourage them to communicate with me, what I allow the person to do is calm themselves down. Because you know as well as I do, you don't like to be told to calm down. On the gym floor, 5 minutes time, please, folks.
I thought it was absolutely fascinating finding out the difference between the verbal and non-verbal communication, and I can see now how much of how I behave in the lesson really does have an impact on the students before I even open my mouth.
In the gym, it's back to basics, and the students are learning that the way you stand can make all the difference.
What do I look while standing like this? Quite authoritative, yeah? Interview stance, everyone, please. From here on in, while we're on the gym floor, you're always in interview stance, OK? Make it look like you've been standing like that for years.
She demonstrates that effective communication is key if you want someone to cooperate with you.
So, can I just talk to you about something that's happened down the road, please? Yeah. Can I just see your hands for a moment, please? What? Well, it's for your safety and mine, that's all. If I could just see your hands so that we know that everything's OK. No. Well, as I say, we can carry on this conversation. It's not a problem, but it'd be a lot safer for you and I, OK?
Leave it.
I sold the message. I didn't stand there saying, "Show me your hands."
No.
How is that going to be perceived? Show me your hands. Aggressive. Let's look at that point of intervention then.
I think Donna has authority, but it's authority born from respect, because obviously when you look around the room, she's one of the smaller people in the room, and yet her presence absolutely fills the room. Excuse me, madam. Excuse me, I just wanted to have a word with you about an incident that's happened down the road. But before I continue, would you mind just taking your hands out your pocket for me? Just show me your hands. It would just be for your safety and for mine. It would just be better if you could just show me your hands. OK, well, you don't have to, that's fine. You don't have to do that at all, but I would just feel more comfortable if you did.
Just try and think of, can I see your hands, please?
Right.
No mention of where they may be, it's just that positive, can I see your hands? Look, there's mine. Yeah?
Now it's Sarah's chance to get stroppy and take on the role of an uncooperative member of the public.
No, I didn't see anything, and I'm not taking my hands out my pocket. It's quite difficult being awkward, because you immediately, you want to do the helpful thing. I found the role-playing has given me a completely different perspective on things. I'm having to do things that sometimes take me out of my comfort zone, and I'm having to try and imagine what it's like to be in somebody else's shoes, which has given me a whole new perspective on what it's actually like to be a pupil in one of my classes. Excuse me, sir. Do you mind just showing me your hands? OK, that's lovely. Now, would you mind just explaining to me what that was all about?
One observation is just trying to make sure that the volume comes up a little bit more. Because it's being said in an assertive manner, and the one thing I think it needs is volume.
Any school situation where you've got a lot of relationships between pupils, there will be times when those relationships create conflict, and I think that sometimes it might help the students to reflect on why the conflict has arisen and how their behaviour can actually de-escalate a conflict situation. The use of role play, you can see how you could potentially adapt that for use within a school and try and get pupils to see things from different perspectives.
With Sarah's confidence levels rising and the day drawing to a close, Donna sets her a challenge. Sarah will have to calm down a neighbour dispute acted out by 2 serving officers.
Whoa, excuse me. Is that the best you can do, is call the old bill, is it? Is that the best you can do?
Sir.
Get yourself a boyfriend.
Sir.
Oi, get
Sir.
yourself...
I understand what you're saying. Can you just explain to me what's been going on here?
I'm living in my house in my garden. She seems to think that some of that rubbish is mine. She's sad.
Okay,
she's called
okay.
the police.
Talk to me then, yeah? So she's called us. I've come along to find out what's going on. Okay. And you've very kindly explained to me the situation here. Okay, that's brilliant. Thank you for that.
And time. Well done, everyone. Well done, well done. I thought it was very good. Your tone was very good. It was calm, and yet you were hitting the right volume to actually get the attention of the person.
You used eye contact, you used good terminology, you didn't get flustered, and you had a control to the words you were using, which made me concentrate on what you were saying.
Sarah's been put through her police training paces, and her day at Hendon has come to an end.
It's been really, really nice to meet you.
Well, thank you so much.
Absolute pleasure.
Now I just absolutely can't wait to get back into the classroom situation, because I think that I've just learnt so much and I really want to start putting it into practice. But also knowing that having actually practiced my assertiveness sort of skills on a police officer, you know, that now, you know, I would go in there feeling confident. Thank you.
Take care.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Two weeks ago, Sarah was struggling to keep control of this group. Now it's a different story, and Sarah is feeling the benefit of her lesson beyond the classroom.
I feel a lot more positive about the fact that I can make myself heard, I can make myself understood, and I think the pupils have picked up on the calm. I'm going to move you because we're going to do a group lesson anyway.
Sarah appears more assertive, and the interview stance she learnt gives her an air of authority.
I've increased the amount of non-verbal communication rather than this constant ask, 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 which they sometimes perceive as nag, nag, nag. You're able to use signs to ask them to do some of the things.
Since Dr. Longshore went to the police training centre, she hasn't shouted as much and she's much calmer with us.
What would we measure the area of the chocolate bar in? There's now this far greater feeling of cooperation and the fact that we're in it together.
It's like we've got more respect for the teacher because the teacher has respect for us.
Let's have a look at what we've got there now. And I think if you believe in something and you go in there, you're putting that across in a positive way, then that's modelling to the students in the best way that you can. And I think that that's enabling them to progress. I feel a lot more positive about my relationship with this class, and I don't feel that there's anything I can't achieve.